Welcome, welcome, welcome to The Tonight Show, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. This weekend was Easter, Passover, and Ramadan. It's what's known in the religious community as a holy turducken. I do love Easter Sunday, though. It's the day parents give their kids a basket of candy, then tell them to sit quietly at church. It's just really interesting. Speaking of Easter, today the Bidens hosted the first White House Easter egg roll since the pandemic began, and it was a huge event with 30,000 people in attendance. Yeah, after 2 minutes of rolling eggs across the lawn, the kids were like, wow, I actually missed Zoom. Meanwhile, I was thrilled to be invited and attend this year's Easter egg roll. I did. I was there. Today, this morning. I told President Biden it was an honor and a privilege to be there, and he said, Jimmy, we invited 30,000 people. But I actually did get to go to the White House today, yeah. When they said the president wants to see you, I thought, damn, how bad did I screw up my taxes? But I had an absolute blast. Plus, good news, during the egg hunt, I found Trump's missing call logs from January 6th. I found them. I really did have the best time. Do we have a photo of me with the president? And that, unbelievable, that was great. Actually, I read my book, Nana Loves You More, to all the kids, yeah. And with the president and the first lady right next to me. This is a real photo. This is from this morning, yeah. Yeah, while I was reading to the kids, the first lady was so sweet. She was like, sound it out, Jimmy, you can do it. Meanwhile, I saw that for Easter, a photo of some knockoff dollar store Peeps went viral. So it's dollar store Peeps. Take a look at these things, this photo. Wow. Oh. It was like Peeps that appeared in an episode of Botched. It's like the Real Housewives of Marshmallow Hills. Let's switch gears. As you hopefully already know, today is tax day. That's right. It's tax day. Did you know that? All right, it's kind of a non-reaction. They're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it is tax day. It's a pandemic. It's spring, so you can get tax, vaxxed, and waxed. You can tell it's tax day because right now every billionaire is laying low in space. Well, ahead of today's tax deadline, the White House released the Biden's tax return, and together they earned over $600,000, making Joe Biden the Jeff Bezos of Wilmington, Delaware. Yep, the president made money from his salary, his book sales, and his upcoming cameo in Magic Mike 3. Well, according to their tax return, the Bidens did not receive a refund this year. Yeah, and when he saw, even Biden was like, friggin' Biden. Unbelievable. But this is cool. The FDA just authorized the first ever COVID breath test. And it's more than 90% effective. Check out what this breathalyzer looks like. This is real. Yeah. Oh. It's amazing. The guy combined luggage with a Capri Sun. It's amazing. Yeah, now there's nasal swabs and breathalyzers. Which means pretty soon you'll see two lines at CVS, one that says up yours, the other one says blow me. Well, here in New York today, former Mayor Michael Bloomberg spoke at City Hall, and people were saying that his mask seemed too tight for his face. Look at this.
But seriously, I was glad to have the chance to welcome back each of my predecessors to City Hall, and I'm glad that you're carrying on that tradition.
He spoke for about 10 more seconds, then passed out. Can we see that again? Yeah, it's like in his mouth. Who makes his mask? Lululemon makes his mask.
Oh, boy.
You know that under that mask, he looked like a dollar store Peep. Yeah, Well, guys, everyone's talking about this. A federal judge has overruled the CDC's mask mandate for planes. And now all of the major airlines have dropped their mask requirements. But don't worry, to keep everyone safe, you can now bring only up to 3.4 ounces of COVID on board. To put it another way, airlines are basically turning off the seatbelt sign for COVID and telling it to move freely about the cabin. Yeah, if you thought Omicron was bad, wait till you meet the Spirit variant. When the news broke, some pilots actually announced the news mid-flight, and people started celebrating. This is true. Yeah, passengers were dancing, hugging, kissing, and now they're all in quarantine. Yeah, there was a crazy scene on American Airlines. People tore off their masks and shoved them right into the ashtrays. How old is this plane? Yeah. And it's not just planes. Amtrak has also ended their mask mandate. Right now, train conductors are celebrating by punching 25 tiny holes in their masks. Have your mask, please. Right now, also, Uber has announced that they're dropping all mask requirements. Honestly, I'm going to miss getting into a masked stranger's car. It was kind of fun to play that game, my ride to the airport or kidnapping. You know? Meanwhile, the White House isn't happy with the ruling. They called it disappointing and urged travelers to keep wearing masks, but they said that they're not fighting the decision. It's kind of like your parents when you tell them about your new tattoo. I don't know if you're going to like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in 20 years, but go for it. Get the tattoo. Hope for a reunion. Speaking of the White House, I read that President Biden has told former President Obama that he plans to run for re-election in 2024. Biden was like, I'll consider the long silent stare your blessing. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you. Obama actually had some good advice. He was like, be careful after 2 terms, people might say you look old. Hey, you guys see this? French President Emmanuel Macron is running for re-election, and a photo of him is going viral because he's showing a ton of chest hair. Take a look. There he is. Well, it's inspired Macron to test some new campaign slogans. Check these out. First up, there's Macron 22, keep France sexy again. Next up, there's Macron 22, anti-tax and anti-wax. Whoa! And finally, there's Macron 22, vote for me or I'll start texting your wife. And you, hey! Hey!
Macron.
Apparently, the people of France love the photo, and it's become very popular. I guess that explains what I saw earlier today, man.
E15 is about 10 cents a gallon cheaper than E10. And some gas stations offer an even bigger discount.
It works. I like it. Approval rating up. Yeah. Some more news. Former President Trump just released a statement saying that Russia and Ukraine should try to reach an agreement to end the war. When they heard that, Miss America contestants were like, nailed it. Yeah. Great answer. Great answer. Yep, Trump was like,
after 8 weeks, I've now come to realize this is a no bueno.
Switching gears, this is interesting. Scientists in Japan came up with a creative way to get people to eat less salt. Check this out.
Researchers in Japan hope their new taste-enhancing chopsticks will make healthy food, low in salt, taste better. The high-tech utensils are hooked up to a special computer device on the user's wrist, which causes a small electric current to flow through what they're eating, activating any sodium ions and allowing for their tongue to taste more salt than is actually in the food.
Wow, it's just that simple. Anyone else see a problem combining soup and electricity? If you want to save time, just pour the soup over your head and plug yourself into a wall. I heard about a woman in Massachusetts who was learning to drive in a cemetery and crashed into 8 headstones. It's just weird that her driving instructor was like, try a U-turn at Edna Doyle's final resting place and then parallel park by the mausoleum. Yep, so between that and getting stuck behind a booth, she had a real tough day. Well, guys, everyone is talking about this. Netflix just announced that for the first time in over a decade, they lost subscribers, and now their stock is crashing. Ooh. Yeah. Not only did their stock plummet, but it turns out that all the cash they had in the bank was just cake. Yeah, apparently raising their subscription fee every 8 seconds wasn't such a good idea. Right now, Netflix is so desperate for money, they're now Googling, is there a real-life Squid Game? It's sad. Netflix is blaming their losses on fierce competition, inflation, and Russia. When he heard that, President Biden was like, hey, get your own excuses. That's, But now Netflix says they're open to launching lower-priced streaming plans with ads. That's right, entertainment with commercials. It's an innovative new concept called television. Very interesting. Yeah, Netflix is losing money. You could tell it's having an effect on all of their shows. For instance, Emily in Paris is now Emily in Pittsburgh. Oh. It's still good.
Wow.
But, yeah. Also, the Crown is now The Hat. And finally, Bridgerton is now American Girl dolls being rubbed against each other with human hands. I'll still watch it, but... Well, this is nice. I read that next month, President Biden is returning to his alma mater, the University of Delaware, to deliver the commencement speech. Yep, freshmen are actually invited to this graduation, because when Biden's done speaking, they'll be seniors. But I'm sure Biden's address will inspire kids, especially when he says, I'm living proof that if you follow your dreams, you can achieve them in 60 years. Well, I saw that the CDC has officially launched a new center that will forecast outbreaks of infectious diseases. Yeah, it raises a lot of questions like, isn't that what they did? I mean, that's what CDC does, right? It feels sort of like CNN launching CNN Plus. It's like, wait, what are we doing here? Yeah. Listen to this. Today, Vin Diesel announced that the title of the next Fast and Furious movie is Fast X. Actually, sounds like an over-the-counter laxative. Actually, sounds like a FedEx knockoff where a guy named Dennis shows up with your package. Hey, you ordered Fast X? Hey, get this, everyone. NASA just released a new report where they say their biggest priority is probing Uranus.
Oh. Come on.
Higgins, do you know anything about Uranus?
Well, I know it's the 7th planet from the sun.
Interesting.
It's also the 3rd largest planet in the solar system. It's almost 4 times larger than Earth.
That's it?
It also reminds me of, your anus. Like the word.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it the red planet? No, it's a brown planet, right? Uranus?
I wouldn't know. Are you talking about Uranus as a whole?
Yeah. Not a black hole, though. That's a different celestial body.
Thank you. Well, guys, today is 4/20, and oddly enough, tomorrow... Yeah, happy 4/20, everyone. Tomorrow... Oddly enough, tomorrow, the sale of recreational weed will begin in New Jersey. Yeah. One day after 4/20. I mean, really, that's like Chipotle offering free guac on 6 de Mayo. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, police say that a man in West Virginia was arrested after he was pulled over, and instead of handing officers his registration, he gave them his meth. His lawyer was like, Your Honor, I got nothing. And finally, did you guys see the picture of French President Emmanuel Macron that was going around yesterday? It went viral because his shirt is unbuttoned and he's showing a lot of chest hair. Here it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Macron is running for re-election right now, and he actually asked us if he could premiere a new campaign song on our show tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome French President Emmanuel Macron.
Bonjour, it is me with my chest hair, you see. Do you think I'm sexy? I sure hope you say oui. I have good policies for the economy. I shall make my VP Emily in Paris. I'm as French as can be. I can get you in free to the patisserie. The chef is Ratatouille. We can nibble the brie, smoke a cig by the sea, give my chest hair a squeeze as it blows in the breeze. Now, I must say adieu, but in 2022, if you all vote for me, I will whisper, merci. But for now, I bid you adieu, adieu, adieu.
Thank you. That applause lasted longer than CNN Plus. That's right. If you haven't heard, today it was announced that the streaming service CNN Plus is shutting down just 32 days after it launched. That's right. CNN Plus is gone, which means in 6 months it'll be turned into Spirit Halloween Plus. 32 days. Oh my God. I've had avocados that last longer than that. Yeah, it was doing so badly, all they had to do was call their one subscriber. They're like, hey, Doug, we're not going to do this. You could tell this was on the horizon when CNN had a CNN countdown clock to the end of CNN Plus. It was very interesting. Well, let's get to some news, or what we think might be news. Did you guys see this? Piers Morgan interviewed former President Trump, and he released a promo that shows Trump storming out after refusing to admit that he lost the election. But now, Trump is claiming that he never stormed out and that Piers Morgan actually doctored the footage. In Trump's defense, I really don't see him storming anywhere. I just say, if you haven't seen the clip, here it is.
The most explosive interview of the year.
I don't think you're real.
I realise I'm not like...
Very dishonest. Let's finish up the interview.
Morgan versus
Turn
Trump.
the camera up. Very dishonest.
My only question is, has Trump been living at Mar-a-Lago or under a heat lamp at Golden Corral? I was wondering. I was wondering that. He's done.
Nice.
Flip him over.
Texas toast.
Speaking of crazy things on TV, last night was a new episode of The Masked Singer, and the Jack in the Box was revealed to be Rudy Giuliani. Watch this.
Oh my goodness! Former Associate Attorney General, former Mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani! I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad. Real bad. Very bad.
You know, it actually takes talent not to hit any notes. I think that's actually it. After seeing that, the CDC reinstated the mask mandate. They're like, put the mask back on now. Now we're putting the mask back on. That's right. Just put it for all of us. Well, this was nuts. Last night, the Army dropped parachutists into the Washington Nationals baseball stadium, but the FAA forgot to tell the Capitol it was happening, so they thought the plane was a threat and evacuated the Capitol. Come on, you can't sneak up in the Capitol like that. It's like throwing a surprise party for someone who just had a heart attack. It's like, hey, you can't do that. Thankfully, everything was fine until Nancy Pelosi got back and was like, damn it, who the hell took my podium again? All right, come on, now this is not fun. Hey, guys, get this. Apparently, a source close to Bernie Sanders said that he might run for president in 2024 if Joe Biden doesn't. So I guess the Democratic ticket in 2024 is between the Muppets and the balcony. Statler, 2024! Hey, here's some good news. Today is Queen Elizabeth's 96th birthday. Hey. Happy birthday. And to celebrate, the royal family posted a brand new photo of her. This is real. Take a look at this. Yeah. Wow, the new Game of Thrones spinoff looks great. I think it's, who knows? I'm telling you, she's got to stop feeding the corgis. You know what I'm saying? I think, looks like she's starring in a Budweiser commercial. That's right, the Queen turned 96 today, and we wanted to wish her a happy birthday the only way we know how. So without further ado, please welcome the wait staff from the Times Square Applebee's. Come on out, guys.
Applebee's is fun, it's true.
Applebee's is fun, it's true.
Especially when we sing for you.
Especially when we sing for you.
Good news is we sing for free.
Good news is we sing for free.
Bad news is we sing off key.
Bad news is we sing off key.
Sound off.
Happy
Sound off.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, guys. Good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. That was good. Not bad. That's the real. That's the real. Times Square Applebee's. Go get their autograph tonight. Yeah. Well, people are talking about this. In Florida, a bride and wedding caterer have been arrested for allegedly lacing the lasagna at her wedding with cannabis. Don't clap for that. What is...
Come on.
People were suspicious after watching the bride and groom feed each other the entire wedding cake. That definitely explains why the father-daughter dance was to a 4-hour Grateful Dead bootleg. Meanwhile, I heard about a man in North Carolina who robbed a dollar store, regretted it, and then returned all the cash. Yeah, apparently the guy looked around the store and said, you know, I think you guys need this more than I do. And finally, a 21-year-old Chihuahua has officially claimed the title of the world's oldest dog. The dog is so old, he fetches a tennis ball and then puts it on the bottom of his walker. Today is Earth Day. Today is Earth Day. Yeah, everyone is trying to do their part. As we speak, CNN is properly disposing of CNN Plus. In honor of Earth Day, I saw that President Biden visited Seattle and signed an executive order to safeguard old-growth forests. That's great. Can we see an old-growth forest? Oh, look at that chest hair. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that chest hair.
Ooh la la.
Oh, it must succeed for you, yeah. Yeah, while Biden was in Seattle, he also spoke about the need for using clean energy. And he even demonstrated how powerful windmills can be. Watch this. Oh, there you go. They are powerful. Ahead of Earth Day, Apple announced that it is using more recycled materials to make its products than ever before. Yeah, recycled iPhones. It's weird when you turn on your new iPhone and Siri says,
I used to be a shake weight.
Okay, that's, I don't know. Guys, the second weekend of Coachella just kicked off, and I heard that since the first weekend, COVID cases in the area have gone up by 77%. Everyone there is like, I can't believe this is happening when we're doing everything we're not supposed to do. The Tony Awards are coming up, and they just issued a strict no-violence policy to potential ticket buyer. That's right, the Tonys, no violence, yeah. Because you can always tell a fight's gonna break out at the Tonys when people start snapping. Hey, boy.
Oxygen?
Some business news. I read that the CEO of Old Navy is stepping down. Now Old Navy is going to try on a dozen new CEOs before finding one that fits and leaving the rest on the floor. It's very interesting. And finally, this weekend, 2 stunt pilots will attempt the first ever plane swap. This is where they're going to fly close together, go into a nosedive, then jump into each other's planes before landing. Yeah, it would be the one time the pilot actually deserves applause for landing the plane.
Hey.